All right, welcome back to the next episode on what we sold on eBay. If you like these type of content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll go ahead and pull our first order for this next segment of what we list and sell on our eBay store. The first item we gotta grab is a set of Cleveland wedges. Go ahead and pull these. Got a list of other ones that we picked up from Goodwill. If you've watched that video, we ended up getting some nice sets of clubs for low cost. These 3 wedge set sold for $129.95. We'll go ahead and get that packaged up and shipped out to the buyer, and we'll process our next order. The next item we're going to pull for this episode is going to be a strategic board game that we just listed yesterday. You've watched my shorts. Just made a short video, the latest one, where we went inside of our death pile and just picked out something to list. And wham, that one right there we picked out, listed, and sold. So we'll get this packaged up and shipped out to the buyer. This board game right here, which is sealed, brand new, sold for $27.95. Believe we picked this one up at a Goodwill. Probably only paid a couple dollars for it, but we'll get that packaged up and shipped out to the buyer and process our next order for eBay. All right, the next item that we're going to pull for eBay is going to be a set of 4 service pins issued out by Boeing. These are going to be vintage. Had to go to our safe and grab these. I'll take you to our light box and I can show you what we sold. This set included years 5, 10, 15, and 20. Alrighty. Each one of these has a specific years of service on them. And this lot right here sold for $200 plus shipping. We actually picked these up at an estate sale and picked up a few different Boeing items and have sold quite a bit of it I'm down to 2 more service pins. So we'll get this packaged up and shipped out to the buyer, then process our next order for eBay. Alright guys, next item we're going to pull that we sold on our eBay store is going to be another Star Wars The Clone Wars figure. And this next one that's sold is General Grievous. It's going to be a 2009 Hasbro figure. Picked these up at an estate sale. We've already sold a pretty good handful. There. And it would have to be the last one. All right, this figure sold for $40 plus shipping. We picked up a pretty nice collection at an estate sale a few months back, and I believe the ones that we picked out were about $10 a piece. I had to look each one of them up since they were asking for so much. Usually Star Wars I wouldn't pay no more than a few dollars for, but depending on the figure. But we'll get that one packaged up and shipped out to the buyer, then process our next order. Alright, the next item we're going to pull is going to be a DVD set that comes in a collectible tin metal case. It's going to be called the Pacific. We just listed these yesterday. This is going to actually still be brand new sealed and in fairly nice condition. And this right here sold for $24.95. It's going to be a Target exclusive, I would assume, with the Target sticker at the bottom. So we'll get that packaged up and shipped out to the buyer. Usually when we go to estate sales, I tend to pick out the brand new sealed DVD and VHSs, since usually we're not in them for a whole bunch of money. Maybe on average 50 cents a tape, maybe $1, but not too shabby. We'll get that packaged up and shipped out to the buyer, then process our next order. All right, the next item we're going to pull for our eBay store is going to be a Cummins diesel hat. And we're going to go to banker box number 3 to pull this order. This was just recently listed. Picked this up at an estate sale on a slightly smaller bulk purchase. But this sold for $19.95 plus shipping. So we'll get this packaged up and shipped out to the buyer. Then we'll process our next order. All right, we got that last order packaged up. And the next item we're going to pull that's sold on eBay is going to be a Samsung Galaxy A14 cell phone that comes with the original box and also a protective case. This phone right here. I believe we paid $10 at an estate sale for this particular phone right here. Get it out of the box and power it on. This phone was in excellent condition. And we sold this for $62 plus shipping. All right, then we'll go ahead and just power it back off. Place it back in the box, get that packaged up and sent to the buyer. Then we'll go ahead and process our next order. All right, the next item we're going to pull is going to be a Barbie doll 1998 special collection desk set. And we're going to need to go to our banker box 1 to pull this order. Okay, set this right here. It's going to be right here. And I'll come back and put that box back on the shelf. So I packaged this order. Alright, this set right here sold for $49.95 plus shipping. We're already in the profit on this estate sale purchase by quite a bit, so we'll get this packaged up and shipped out to the buyer. Then process our next order. The next order we're going to pull is going to be a DVD. It's actually going to be the Grandchester's complete second season. We also just started listing these DVDs. We usually pick up a lot of DVDs and CDs for pretty cheap at estate sales. I tend to try to pick out the ones that are still sealed, since they go for a little bit more money than pre-owned ones. This season right here, second season of Grandchester, sold for $9.95 plus shipping. And we'll get this packaged up and shipped out. Typically on the DVDs, we're in it for probably 25 cents, 50 cents on bulk purchases. So not too bad. All right. Our next order that we're going to pull is going to be a CD. Guardians of the Galaxy. Awesome Mix 1. The original soundtrack. So we've still got tons of CDs to list. This one right here. We've picked up this whole collection of CDs from an estate buyout. Didn't pay much for them, and we're already in the profit on that collection. This CD sold for $4.95 plus shipping. So any CDs that we sell from that wall is going to be pure profit. I'll go ahead and get this packaged up and shipped out to the buyer and process our next order. All right, as we conclude this episode, we're going to pull the final few orders that we sold on eBay. Let's see here. We sold a Peggy car fused art glass, and that's going to be over here in the filing cabinet number 6. Okay. We sold this plate right here for $59.99 plus shipping. We'll use plenty of bubble wrap and a sturdy box. Get this shipped so it'll arrive in its original condition. We'll get that packaged up, then process the next order. We picked this one up at an estate sale and just listed it about a week ago, and it sold. All right, the last order that we're gonna pull for this segment of what sold on eBay, particularly our eBay store, is gonna be another DVD box set. This one is going to be called Charlie Chan, the International Investigator. And it's going to be somewhere over here. This sold for $24.95. And I put free shipping on this one. So a lot of our DVD collections come from estate sales and thrift stores. And we don't. Usually you can find these fairly cheap to flip. You just have to pick out the right titles. But we'll get this packaged up and shipped out to the buyer. And that concludes this episode of what we sold on eBay. Thank y'all for watching.